Hey white people, I just got off of black people TikTok because I was talking about how I only watch black YouTubers when I'm trying to cook something, and it garnered a lot of attention. And I come here in peace to present notes from the data that I've received. It's gotten so bad that people are literally searching black people spaghetti recipe, black people chicken Florentine. Your potential viewership is going to the dark web to make chicken. Luckily, with these few changes, you might be able to change that. I am not here to speak for black people. These are just my observations. I am but a vessel to bridge the communication gap. Now, before we get into the list, the main thing that I am seeing from black people in the comment section of my video is that white people who are making cooking content are doing way too much. My theory is that black people seem to value their time a lot more than white people do. So the first thing on our list, limit the amount of equipment and heavy machinery needed to cook whatever the fuck you're making. I'm talking about immersion blenders, the souffles, the talismans, the scepters. You're gonna go put that all back in the cupboard, okay? Even if somebody owns that, they have to clean it. And that's exactly why I would click off. We're making chicken thighs, not the Last Supper. Number 2 is don't overcomplicate ingredients. We should not be scavenging for mushrooms in the forest of hell. Not everybody lives in Los Angeles, so we're not gonna go to the Wizard of Oz to buy some golden walnuts, okay? These need to be things that can be easily bought at the next grocery trip, not things that have to be ordered online. No one has time for that. Ask yourself if the saffron is necessary. Last but not least, I want to say that black people have unanimously agreed that white people are better at baking. I didn't know that this was true. I thought that it was somewhat true that there was just more white people that knew how to bake, but maybe that means that you should make a little bit more baking content. All right, that's all I had. Good luck, everybody. Bye.
So funny to me when other white people complain about black people not wanting to associate with us, because it's like, do you understand what our ancestors did to their ancestors? And yes, it's not our personal responsibility, but those types of attitudes get passed down from parent to child for generations. If you think about it, yes, slavery ended in 1865, but actually then there was Jim Crow, and then there was mass incarceration. The way that white people have oppressed black people in America literally just changed forms. I mean, integration didn't even happen until like 60 years ago. The first child to go to an integrated school, Ruby Bridges, is still alive. She still talks about that experience. So in my opinion, we're lucky that black people want to associate with us at all. I completely understand any resentment or fear specifically about dating interracially, dating white people, being really close friends with white people. And still sometimes you'll have cases where a black person goes on a trip with a lot of white people and then they don't come back. So yeah, it completely makes sense that people would be skeptical of the way that whiteness operates. Again, it has nothing to do with you as a person, but this institution has oppressed them for centuries. So stop taking it personally and do better.
I think the real reason that some white people get upset or like don't understand when they see black people in spaces that they're in, or black people in positions of authority or advancing and things like that, the reason that they relate it to like, well, it must be like you're getting something that you're not qualified for, like it is racism, but there's another underlying part of that. And it really boils down to the fact that they can't fathom a reality where you advance in life, where you get a position, where you move up at all without stealing something or stepping on somebody or exploiting somebody. They can't, in their brain, they don't have any recall within their collective history of any time period where they've been able to build without stealing or massacring or doing something to somebody else. So like when they see another group of people, whether that be black people or POC, in positions that they feel like, well, no, that's my position. And when they see them, they think that, well, you couldn't have got it any other way besides taking it from somebody and like stealing it. There's no way you actually worked for it, because in their history and present day, they don't have, even within the country itself, standing up the United States, they don't have any like precedent of like existing, like moving up, like building without taking something from somebody, without stealing. Like they have no creativity in their mind. Well, not even creativity, they have no recall and lack the imagination to imagine that being a possibility. So when they see a black person or a POC in spaces and things like that, it's got to be the DEI thing, even though it don't make sense. That's the only thing they have in their brain. It's like the only way you able to make it, the only way I know you make it in this world is by stealing stuff and like, you know, exploiting and like taking things away from people that belong to them. They things, and that's it. That's all they got. So yeah, it's the racism, of course, but it's also there's another part of that psychologically where they just don't have the recall. There's no precedent set yet, and they refuse. I don't know, to set a precedent where they can, advance, evolve without exploiting or stealing from other people across the globe and right next door. So that's it. They just can't understand in their brain and just don't connect. Like, how were you able to make it as a black person? And then to look at a black person and know like black people's history of subjugation and oppression, and then see you actually moving, they're like, no, there's absolutely no how you fucking doing that. Blows their brain. So they had to come up with something, and the only thing they come up is what they were able to do since the beginning of days. And by the way, yes, that is stealing from other people, taking all the things, culture, resources, land. That's it. That's all they have, unfortunately for them, because eventually you keep resting on the fact you got to steal while other people making advancements on their own, pulling their own selves up by the bootstraps, even without fucking boots, making the boots themselves. Come a day where you don't even know how to make boots. You don't know how to do anything. Okay, y'all have a great day.
Let's be real for a minute. A lot of people online keep asking, why are black people becoming more distant? Why do they seem tired of explaining themselves? But honestly, after everything they've experienced, why is that surprising? For generations, black Americans have had to fight for basic respect, basic equality, and basic opportunities. And every single time they spoke up about racism or injustice, people told them they were overreacting, being divisive, or playing the victim. But now something is changing. A lot of black people are no longer spending all their energy trying to convince others to care. Instead, they're protecting their peace, focusing on their communities, supporting each other, and stepping away from constant negativity. And some people are uncomfortable with that. Because for a long time, society expected black communities to always forgive, always educate, always include everybody, even while being disrespected at the same time. But now many people are saying, we're tired of proving our humanity to people who already made up their minds. And honestly, that frustration didn't come from nowhere. History matters. Slavery may have ended a long time ago, but the effects didn't magically disappear. Segregation, discrimination, unequal treatment, generational poverty, all of these things shaped communities for decades. So when people act like the past has no connection to the present, a lot of black Americans feel ignored. And eventually, when people feel ignored long enough, they stop explaining. That's what many people online are witnessing right now. It's not about hatred. It's about exhaustion. People are tired of constantly defending their experiences while others dismiss them. They're tired of seeing their culture appreciated while their pain gets ignored. And they're tired of being told to stay quiet just to make everybody else comfortable. So now many are choosing peace over arguments. And another thing people don't want to admit is this. Sometimes people only want unity when problems finally start affecting them too. When the economy struggles, when division grows, when political decisions hurt everybody, suddenly people want understanding and compassion. But some black Americans are asking, where was that compassion before? And honestly, that's a fair question. At the end of the day, nobody wins through hate or division, but respect has to work both ways. You can't constantly dismiss people's struggles, and then be shocked when they stop trying to explain themselves. Maybe that's the real shift happening today. People are choosing self-respect. People are protecting their peace, and people are finally realizing they don't need permission to value themselves anymore.